The conversation of, excuse my accent, the conversation what an accent means. But we have this, we're uncomfortable with things we don't understand, you know? Instead, we should be looking at it from a place of beauty.
And we are back on the zoo, excuse my accent, all right? Tell us about that, Umbi. What you got on that shirt?
Yeah.
Actually, show it up.
Yeah, show it off a little.
Okay, so this is a shirt that says, excuse my accent, in all different languages. Okay, and so it was started by this rapper named RobYoung, who hooked up with a deported veteran that we covered on LatiNation named Hector Barajas. And he started hearing about his story, and then, you know, Rob, who's an African-American rapper from the, Pacific Northwest, Seattle area, he wanted to start, having that bridge between like black and brown communities. And one of the things he noticed is that a lot of people, not just brown, but he's also friends with, Eastern Europeans and Middle Easterners who he would notice would get prejudice bestowed upon them. That's a weird way to put it. I'm sorry, I'm thinking like long sentences. Because of their accent, like not just their color. Like he's dealt with racism for his color. But he notices how like people with like a foreign accent, where there's a Spanish accent, like us. I even have a subtle Spanish accent. I grew up bilingually in Miami, which is basically another country. But he would notice his Hispanic friend, Latino friends, his Eastern European friends, his Middle Eastern friends would get stuff whenever anybody would hear their accent, and it would be like. So he made a movement called Excuse My Accent, and he made a music video about it. And he teams up with the deported veteran that we've done stories on, Hector Barajas, and also a Slavic rapper who you'll see in the video. So super cool guy, man. And it's really cool. I think one thing that we're about here in LATV is not just promoting, the Latinx community, but promoting all the various minorities and immigrant communities, and even domestic communities here in the United States, like African-American, Black communities, and people that just want to unite across, racial, ethnic, and cultural lines. But at LATV, Los Latinos are in the lead because it's our party. But come to our party. You're all invited.
It's our party.
All are welcome here, regardless of accents. So excuse my accent, and check this out. It's my interview with RobYoung.
My name's RobYoung, Robert RobYoung Walker, producer of Excuse My Accent, artist, songwriter. Excuse my accent.
It's a long way, cross the water, nothing easy. Made up my mind way back when, but we on now and I ain't look back since. Excuse my accent, excuse my accent, excuse my accent, excuse my accent.
I have always been doing music. I come from a background where my dad was a motivational speaker and a poet. My mom worked in the educational system. We used to own one of the largest African art museums on the West Coast at one point. Yeah, so I've always had this affinity towards people and humanism. I feel like everything came together with working with Dre as far as that humanistic standpoint and Excuse My Accent's birth. Dre being from Romania, me and him have been working with each other for a while. We've known each other for over a decade. And one day we were having a conversation and he said, I'm a hip hop artist in America from Romania. I have this accent, no one can get over it. And I told him, I was like, yo, man, you should do a song about it. You know what I mean? Make that your, staff in the ground. And then he was like, well, actually, it's like a foundation for a global story. You know what I mean? Because the conversation of, excuse my accent, the conversation what an accent means. But we have this, we're uncomfortable with things we don't understand. Instead, we should be looking at it from a place of beauty. If we're the melting pot that we're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying?
Access to the girl asking for access to a warm mattress. Can't sanction a sanctuary, can't sanction a sanctuary. No way, no how we sanctified our praises. They can't hold us. Think about it now. We just want some clean water, basics, food, and education. They say who you pray to, turn around. Now you don't speak my language. It's hard to find love when it's opinionated. It's hard to find love, but we're still with it. You won't have to excuse my pronunciation. Now deal with it.
We created a phenomenal piece of artwork with the music video. Go and check that out. I honestly think it's the best music video of the year. Whatever, I'll be cocky. I think it's the best music video of the year, Shout out to Charlene. Shout out to Richard Stan, Tian Lu, the whole squad. Dre Ross, of course. And from there, we started really leaning on working with organizations. Kind of our anchor is Deported Veteran Support House. Since that relationship has been built through the music video, because Hector makes a cameo, we're running campaigns for them, looking to pretty much reach a hand in and fill any blanks that they need, you know? We're running a campaign, Thou Shalt Not Deport Veterans. We're gonna be telling little pieces of their story, and then also promoting the causeware is what we're calling it, where a portion goes back to the deported veterans. And then after that, we're gonna move to another. Yeah, Hector Barajas, that's my guy. I love Hector. I think he's an amazing human being. I told him one day I want to make him as popular as Cesar Chavez. That's our inside joke. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, you should be a Cesar Chavez. I came across his story because when we started Excuse My Accent after doing the music video, I was just like looking up immigration and finding stories, and I came across his story. He got deported and then went to the border wearing his uniform every weekend, raising hell until someone would give him any attention. Finally got his citizenship. After getting his citizenship, he turned around and said, I don't want anyone else to go through what I went through. And he didn't have to do that. And so now he's dedicated his life to fighting for other deported veterans, which I feel like that's an angel of a human being. And I just reached out to him, and I spoke with someone at Deported Veteran Support House, told him like, hey, we want you to be in the music video. We feel like your story is the epitome of what Excuse My Accent means. And then what ended up happening was Dre and I heard his story, and we just were like, man, we gotta do something more. So we started shooting a documentary, still in production. It's been a process to progress, and that's anything good is always a process. So that's kind of how everything started. Excuse My Accent started a Veterans Day campaign called Thou Shalt Not Deport Our Veterans. This is one of the mocks for the shirts that we're donating percentage of proceeds to Hector Barajas and his organization. We released for Hector Barajas, and then we're gonna be releasing Daniel Torres, Kevin Martinez, and Mauricio Hernandez. I'm really excited to release Mauricio's story because he is so captivating, especially when you see him, because he deals with extreme PTSD, and you can almost see like the pain in his eyes, you know what I mean? And is now finding out how to live outside of the country that he fought for. It doesn't make any sense at all. The goal with Excuse My Accent and all of this, the identity, is we want doing good to be dope. You know, we want it to you know, like you said, it doesn't have to be the dinners and handshakes. It can be fresh to do good and put out positivity, you know what I'm saying? And I would love to see more artists and entertainers and advocates find different communities to uplift. I think it's really finding ways to come together, be a house for a community of artists and activists and entertainers, and then be